It's great to be able to speak for the Glazer Clinics again. Like I said, my name is Rob Zeitman. I'm the assistant head coach at Fair State University, which is located up in Big Rapids, Michigan. We are an NCAA Division II school. We compete in the GLIAC Conference, which is widely considered one of the toughest Division II conferences in the United States. Talk about our system before we begin with Inside Veer. We're really a hybrid of systems. We begin with the philosophies of option principles, much the same as Georgia Tech and Navy. We began as a flexbone team. We've kind of evolved from that. We also use some spread passing concepts like Oklahoma State or Washington State. We utilize the pistol formation, a short pistol formation, and also a deeper version, and have employed some of Nevada's or some of the things that Nevada has made famous over the last 4 years, or over the last few years, I should say. And then we try and do it at the pace of Oregon, or basically defining us as a no huddle team. Why the option? We feel like you can win with inferior talent and control superior talent. You don't block players by design. Many times you can take away some of their top defenders by not blocking them. It forces defenses to play assignment football. Opponents have a hard time emulating in practice. It controls random blitzing. You don't get those fire zone schemes that defensive coordinators, particularly in college, are known for. You even controls some of the line stunts that we see, typically in college. Simple blocking schemes for our offensive line, fun to practice, can use multiple formations to run the same plays. Easy to use audibles to attack the weaknesses of defenses. That's why we use the option. Here's kind of a slide that's a visual key. Conventional offense, 5.5 defenders to 4.5 blockers. Double option play, 4.5 defenders to 4.5 blockers. And then a triple option plays, 3.5 defenders to 4.5 blockers. So you see what we're trying to achieve is numerical advantage in option football. Now, obviously, as we motion, they're going to do some certain things, and they're going to try and cheat an extra guy, to that side, and those types of things. And that's the games that we're going to play. But what it forces defenses to do is really run fit nice and tight. And if they can't do it or don't do it on a particular play, it's going to be a big play for us. That's why we like the option philosophy and why we rely on option football. Why do we use a short pistol? What are the advantages of it? For years, we're like Georgia Tech and Navy, but where we are unlike them is our quarterback play. We had always asked our quarterback to step deep off the center and to mesh deep in the backfield, and it was rather difficult and cumbersome footwork for our quarterback to learn. So rather than stepping at 5 or 7 o'clock to mesh our triple play, now all we have to do, he's at 3 yards, 2.5 to 3 yards away from the center. Now it's really pivot style. We reduced the box with our alignment of our slots. Our slots were previously lined up 1 and 1 off the outside leg of the tackle. When we were under center, now they align 5 yards wide and level deep as the quarterback. We did this to make their orbit motion, the correct angle, so that he's working across the formation rather than towards the opposite goalpost. Number 3, our quick passing game. Our quarterback simply catches the snap and is in position to throw the quick game. It hits vertically. The run plays hit vertically quicker than the true shotgun or true pistol, and it's just a little slower than under center. So, when we're working the option game under center, so we lost a yard on our fullback's alignment. So that's one of the gives and takes. It protects the mesh from being attacked. So because we're deeper, it makes it much harder for teams to attack the mesh. A lot of teams will employ the philosophy of we're just going to blow up that mesh and tackle them both before they disengage, and this makes it harder for them to do that. It allows us to widen our splits to 3 feet in the A gap and 3.5 feet in the B gap, which spreads defenses out and creates great blocking angles, natural creases. Forces the handoff key to be very definitive in his angle to attack the drive back. Consequently, it makes the read of the quarterback easier. And it gives the quarterback more time to read the handoff key because he's further back, and then transition his eyes to the pitch key because the pitch key is wider due to our alignment and line splits. So all of those things give us some advantages in the short pistol. Some general offensive philosophies as we get started here. We want to build a system around players, not plays. We realize that the emphasis of our offense will change as our personnel changes. Our philosophies will not change. We'll find new plays, new ways to execute those philosophies around the exploits of our players, what our players are good at. Constantly tweaking our system. What we are today is a little different than what we were yesterday. That's number two. Number three, stay a step ahead of the opponent's defensive game plan, meaning you know they're going to have answers for what you're doing. When they start to call and employ those answers and deploy their players on the field, with those answers in mind, you want to have an answer for that as well. And always have the option to run the option. So no matter how you change and alter and tweak your system, you always want to have the option to run. His helmet now, not his hand, 5 yards from the tip of the ball. Quarterback is 3, so it's 3 and 5, or if he's deeper, it would be 4 and 6. We're 5 yards, the slot is from the tackle, and he's level with the quarterback. So that's how we align ourselves. Inside veer is the play we're going to talk about today. Here's a little diagram of inside veer. Remember, it's a triple option play. So in this one, you've got the handoff key is marked in a red square, and then a white square with a red boundary is the pitch key. So we're gonna read him. We're gonna read the handoff key to give the ball. We're gonna give the ball unless the handoff key can tackle the running back. If we do pull the ball, we're gonna attack the outside shoulder of this pitch key, and we're gonna pitch the ball unless he can tackle the slot back, the pitch back. So plays value. It's 3 plays in 1 to each side of the football. Like I said before, 3.5 defenders versus 4.5 blockers. By reading 2 guys on one side of the ball, it gives the offense a decisive advantage. And you go back to inferior talent being able to control superior talent a little bit. It opens up many more opportunities for your offense because the defense must stop this play first. So whether or not we choose to run this play 100 times, that's our choice. They better be able to stop it. It's a great red zone offense. Ball gets downhill in a hurry, really fast. You only have to learn to read and mesh, and that's an effort issue and kind of a time issue. If you and the players are willing to commit to the mesh, your team can be really good. Making personnel decisions, quarterback in the option. Number 1 is leadership ability. We want a leader back there, somebody who can, tell the other 10 players what needs to be done. Work ethic. If you're going to be a leader, you're going to have great work ethic, and we need this kid to be able to, work in the run game and mesh and pitch, and we need him to be able to work in the pass game with our receivers and slots and whatever. Football intelligence, that's something that's coached and taught. Communication, we need to be on the same page. We have a quarterback manual. They need to understand the basics of football so that we can communicate to one another, and then we can communicate to each other both on the field and on the sideline between series. But confidence comes with strong technique and fundamental basis. So if he's really good at what he's doing, that quarterback, then he's going to be very confident. Speed, that's a God-given thing. We don't have a control over that. We try and recruit it. And then a natural throwing motion, something that we can teach over time a little bit, or at least alter and make more functional. Is our veer drill, a drill we do every day. Right now we're working counter motion, so as you're looking at it from the left or the offense is right, you'll see the slot go in motion, then come back, and you'll see we've got a coach on the edge of the screen here, right there, and this coach has a ball in his hand, and he's either going to come down and play the running back, or he's going to come back and play the quarterback, and we'll read off of him, and he's got a second ball, so we can work all 3 phases of the option every single time. Here you'll see it. Pitches in the ball, and now our quarterback attacks the pitch key, and we're working all 3 phases of the option, and that's what we're looking to do here. We've got a live snapper today, which is good. So you want to work as much of that as you can as he fumbles the ball going across the goal line. Okay, the next drill that we like to use is our perimeter drill. We'll do a couple of different blocking schemes off of this. Block the man over you. Perimeter blocking drill. This is a great teaching tool for blocking on the edge. It's a good way to create an environment of learning through many repetitions in a short period of time. Here we'll see our switch scheme. We put a premium on speed off the ball, not size. So our guards are our best drive blockers. Centers and tackles are quick and agile, which is kind of the way we roll. It's coaching points. We have proper stand. We want all of our linemen to have a flat back. We want good flexibility in the hips. We do a lot of racing off the ball at the beginning of practice. We have a start line and a finish line. We're working a horn block here, but you see we're running through the bags and then we're jogging back. Keep timing it up with the old line. We bring our skill guys down and we put ourselves on the hash. Our personnel is rotated through the drill, so we all get work on both the left and the right side. Our centers are working both sides of the drill, And then here you have it. We're back to back here. Our slots are over here. Boom, we're going in motion. Work on the left side of the drill here. Our split's a little tight there. We got a nice wide split there for sure. And then here's an extra center. He's going to rotate in right after the snap. And here we've got a rotation adjustments down blocking schemes based on the different defensive fronts. Here's the 4-2-5. That's kind of what we've been talking about. So there's really no adjustment there against the 4-3. Now we've got the tackle's going to release straight to the mic. If this Sam, for whatever reason, shows into this B gap, then he's going to collision him and take him. See that? Right tackle does a heck of a job of getting down there. He kind of gets himself turned around. You'll see, does a nice job of releasing. Here he is. He's vertical on him. Now we've got a rule. If this linebacker flies out here, we're climb never chase. Because if we chase him out there, now we got two guys that our ball handlers got to deal with. So we don't want that. So we're going to continue him on this track. Now watch him. He's pretty cognizant of it, and he makes contact so the kid can't get wide. And we're able to stay on that block. So that's a pretty good job by our offensive tackle. We've got a tight end and an H-back here. We'll move the running back to the pistol. We're going to motion this guy and run it to the left. All right. But the interesting thing is this, that as we work, these guys are going to block in tandem on the perimeter. So he's got number 1, he's got number 2, which is these two guys. This kid, meanwhile, is going to widen because he's going to try and get hands on that tight end. We're going to come down, veer release down in there. We're blocking in here, and it's going to be a nice give read for a touchdown. Here we are moving him back, and then away we go, and right into the end zone for the touchdown.